Okay, guys. So I want to kick this video off by talking about what I've been up to, the new year, all these things. Um, just give you an update. It's been a minute. Things have been really busy with the holiday season, life, training, coaching, the gym, all the things. It's been busy. So right now I'm 218 pounds as of this morning, and I've been training, lifting weights 3 days per week, and I'm running 6 days per week. So this seems to be the perfect balance right now, with the goals being to run basically a 20-minute 5K and bench 365 pounds. Those are the main goals. And then just be as healthy as possible, because I'm 33 years old, and I'm just at that point where it's like I want to be as balanced as possible. And I've talked about this on my Instagram page. You can go on there and see it. I used to, all my 20s, it was all about pushing for strength as much as possible, no matter what the cost to health, everything, just well-being, life in general. It all got pushed to the side, and it was all about strength. And now I'm at a season in life where being a good husband, a good father, being a good man of God, these are all the more important things over just training. So, prioritizing things now, it's God, family, and then fitness, really. So fitness used to be like the main thing. In all my 20s, I was away from the Lord. But now I'm trying to get to a place where I'm in a good spot, spiritually, mentally, physically, all of the things. So going over this training split, basically Mondays and Fridays are upper body slash bench days. And this seems to be a good balance right now. Every day I'm doing the pec work I showed in one of the previous videos you can find on this YouTube page. I'm doing those pec warm-ups, the stretches, and the lacrosse ball work to keep my pecs feeling healthy on this road to the 365 bench. And really, 365 is not far off. I'm very close right now. I did the 353 bench back in September at the same weight I'm now. And one thing I've learned, every year I've made the same mistake over and over of getting way too ambitious with New Year's goals, where I'm just like, 2023, it was deadlift 750 pounds, and a lot of back issues that I have these days from deadlifting heavy for 20 years made that not so much of a thing, herniated discs and stuff like that. And then last year, it was a 5-minute mile goal I put read through the whole Bible, and then finish the Bighorn 100-mile race in like 25 hours. Failed every one of them. And these goals, we just get overly ambitious with them. It's a slow, methodical journey. It doesn't matter if it's gaining strength. It doesn't matter if it's getting jacked or getting faster. No matter what your goal, it comes down to chipping away over time. That's who makes the best progress. My best clients, the guys who I coach who are the best, they're consistent and they stick with it, and they just grind away. They're not thinking, I'm going to put 40 pounds on my lifts in the next 6 months. It's a slow, consistent progress. That's what it takes. We're so skewed by the internet and social media to think that everything happens really quickly. It just doesn't. It doesn't. That's the biggest fallacy anyone could fall into. So this year, I'm like, let's just try to be really well balanced, get a 365 bench, which I think is very possible. That's 11 pounds more. And then at the same time, be capable of a 20-minute 5K, which is a 6:25 per minute mile pace for 3.1 miles. So right now, realistically, I think I could do maybe like a 20:40 5K, which is a 6:39 pace. But I don't think I'm quite there with the 20-minute. So those are the main fitness goals. And another one, it's been more fun lately. Like I said, my back flares up. It's not always possible to deadlift all the time due to 20 years of just hammering my back and taking PEDs. So one thing that's been kind of fun are these 20-rep deadlifts, because I'm in the best cardiovascular shape of my life. VO2 max has went up immensely in the last month, as my resting heart rate's the lowest it's ever been. So resting heart rate averages throughout the night when I'm sleeping 45 beats per minute, but it gets down to 35 beats per minute at certain points of the night. That's the lowest I've recorded, but it gets 35 down. It gets down to 35, lowest it's ever been. So that kind of tells you what kind of shape I'm in. And that's from 6 days of running much faster. I'm running paces consistently around 7:30 on most of my runs. So I'm getting in pretty good shape, and it's been a fun journey. Blood pressure's way down. not on any blood pressure meds as of now, and I'm still 113 over 72 with no medication, which is something I've really struggled with before, is the high blood pressure. So that's been fun. But these goals are really just, it's a good balance between being in shape, being healthy, and then being strong, and I like that a lot. But like I was saying, I digress, and the 20 rep deadlift goal, it's something that's really exciting. Johnny Candido, he was the first person to do 20 reps dead stop, not this touch and go nonsense. He did 20 reps dead stop with 500 pounds on deadlift. The first person, I believe, on the whole internet that I could find who did it with calibrated plates to add to the legitimacy of the lift. So I would like to, at some point, do 20 reps with 500 pounds conventional, because no one's ever done that. So I did 20 reps by 441 pounds, 200 kilos on New Year's Day, which was a PR. There's an old video from way back in the basement days where I did 405 for like 35 touch and go with bumper plates. But that touch and go, I thought it was a thing back then. It's really not a true deadlift, so I don't really count that. So this was a PR. And in the new year, I'd like to get 475 for 20. I think that would be reasonable, 33 more pounds. 500 might be a little ways off. I mean, that's just an absurd level of strength and cardio to be able to pull that off. So I still have work to do to get to that point, but that would be another really fun goal that I've kind of set for the new year. And then obviously another one, I want to finish the Bible. I'm 720 pages in, almost halfway through, almost the Psalms. At the end of Job I'm in right now, and that's something I've prioritized as far as my journey in learning more about Christ. And I've tried to do things through my whole life without him, taking the credit for myself, being prideful, thinking it was all me who was doing this, all these blessings, thinking it was me, putting in the work. But all the good things come from him, and I realize that now. And I've been humbled many times, guys, many times, where I was like, Bighorn's a good example. I'm like, I can do this all on my own. I don't need help. And he works through us. So I want to help lead you guys, the viewers, to him and be better Christians and learn more. And if you have questions, I'm not perfect, but I'm going down the road myself. So I may not know everything. And I'm just trying to be the best person I can be as far as that goes. So that's kind of where I'm at with the new year. And something I should touch on even, this was crazy. This was about 2 months ago. I've been having heart palpitations pretty solid, like pretty consistent heart palpitations for periods during the day, where I could feel the rhythm was off and my heart was pounding. I had one time I did back raises. I finished the set and my heart rate would not come down whatsoever for 30 minutes. It was pounding. That freaked me out. But I had some beta blockers on hand. I would take one of those and it would calm it down. And I had this happen a couple other times where my heart would just be racing for no reason. I was on a run, and my heart was pounding, and it would not come down whatsoever. So I run pretty fast to where the heart rate's elevated. It's not a concern there. But when it won't come down, I'm like, what the heck? And I walked for like 20 minutes trying to get it to come down. It didn't come down at all. And I could feel the rhythm was all off, and I was freaking out. I was fortunate enough, I dipped into like a business, and this guy gave me a ride back to Koa. And I took a beta blocker, and I drove to the ER, like straight up. I just was like... So I got an EKG done, and everything was perfectly normal. And I had taken the beta blocker, so I'm sure that if I hadn't taken that, maybe we would have gotten some information. But that stabilized it. The EKG was perfect. And recall back in July, I had an angiogram done. There was 0 plaque in my heart. Soft calcified or hard calcified plaque or soft non-calcified plaque. There was none whatsoever. So the rhythm here was just off, and I was concerned. And they did a troponin blood test. They didn't find anything there. There was nothing wrong. The guy was like, "You're the healthiest person I've ever seen coming to the ER. You're fine, whatever." And he basically was like, just don't drink energy drinks and just stick to coffee. Because I told him, I'm like, I've been having energy drinks. Well, I'm not even going to name the brand. I'm not going to name the brand. I don't know how that would be. I don't know if I get in trouble for that or whatever. It's not libel, though. It's a fact. It happened. But a certain energy drink brand I'd been drinking for a few months, 100% was triggering arrhythmia type symptoms. So this is just an energy drink you can get at any grocery store, most gas stations, whatever. And it was 200 milligrams of caffeine, nothing crazy. This stuff tripped my heart out. I mean, even if I would have like a little bit, if I would drink half the can, my heart was going bonkers on this stuff. Palpitations all the time, tachycardia, crazy, dude. So it was just from that. Like, I eliminated it, haven't had a problem since. Praise God. But, and I'll have a rain a lot of days, or I'll have a ghost. Rain and ghost, no problems, no issues. And rain's 300 milligrams of caffeine. Ghost is 200, no issues. It was just this one, and it legitimately sent me to the ER with heart palpitations and tachycardia and crazy stuff like that. But it all turned out to be okay. It was just that one brand triggering it. So be careful with that stuff. That's just that's something you got to be careful with what you're putting in your body. And I look back at my career on PEDs, and so much of that time I would put anything into my body. If we were to meet and someone would just give me stuff and say this will make you stronger, I was going to take it. That was quite common. At meets back in the day, everyone would pass around stuff and you would just load up on everything. And I've touched on the story of when one of the dealer guys sent me rec drugs to the house that I didn't know about, and I basically almost died. I would have overdosed. Something stopped me. The Lord stopped me from taking all these pills. I thought they were steroids. They were not. And it would have ended it, guys. It would have ended it. So there's, and I can touch more on that story later if you want to hear about it, but you got to be careful about what you put in your body. And I'm pretty careful. It's just, you don't think an energy drink you get from the grocery store is going to be a problem necessarily. So that's a crazy story, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Supplements, I'm taking vitamin K2, 200 micrograms a day. I'm not taking vitamin D3 right now, and I'll show you why soon on these labs I just got done with testosterone, vitamin D, and lipids. And I was taking blood pressure meds, very low dose. I was taking the lowest dose possible to keep things dialed in, but now that I'm running so much, I've dropped off those as well. So really, vitamin K2 is the staple, and that's about it. I may do Shilajit again. It raised my red blood cells slightly, because I'm always like a 40 hematocrit, so I did like that. I don't think Shilajit like boosts testosterone, but I think it does have some effects on like raising red blood cells to where you have a little better oxygen production, which helps with endurance. Because my hematocrit on that stuff was 43%. Normally it's like 40%, so quite low. Now, obviously, if you live at altitude or you are on TRT, you wouldn't want to necessarily do that. You don't want your hematocrit to get so high that your blood gets thicker and you have a stroke risk. That's the problem there. So blood pressure being up, hematocrit being up, puts you at a stroke risk. That's the issue. But I'm going to keep the videos coming more in 2025 and speak about the Lord more, speak about my training, be more open, guys. Check out my Instagram. I'm opening up on there. So appreciate you guys watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, all the things. Let's make it a great 2025. And God bless you all.